he craves sustenance.
Guys, we are not invading my aunt.
Food.
Hey!
Welcome to the Regular Menthol Podcast, where we discuss Kino movies. My name is Tate, and my co-host here is Mr. Chris.
Hi, folks.
We give a little thoughts on the movie, our experience with it, then we discuss specific scenes that we like, followed up with our very own Kino rating. Today we're discussing the movie, the OG version of Twister, starring Bill Paxton, Helen Hunt, and Philip Seymour Hoffman. Bud, how you doing? Just bought a house.
Yeah, just bought a house. We're just talking off stream here. Bought a house this week. I'm in a rapid sell my house state right now. So yeah, bought a house. The housing market is absolutely insane. Criminal, I might add.
You're investing.
Yeah.
You're getting in real estate. You're getting wild. You're making power
Hey,
moves.
man. I'm getting in the real estate game. Okay, folks. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm going to get my license. I'm going to get my real estate license. Watch me.
Dude, just do it on the weekends, man.
Yeah, I'll just do it part-time. I'll just real estate part-time.
Yeah.
Mind you, like our real estate agent's getting like mass texts from us and he's trying to do like 30 other things. I'm like, well, sorry, bro.
That's
But
how
it is a grind.
Well,
You do make a good payout, but you're nonstop.
So, like, the real estate agent that you have is a gamer. He basically, that's his full-time
gamer.
job,
Yeah, he's a gamer.
and does it all day.
Yes. His phone does not turn off.
Like
We're texting him, talking to him at like 10 o'clock at night regularly.
regularly. Yeah.
And then he'll just move from this one to the next one to the next one. He's just nonstop. So it's a grind. Definitely is a grind. How you doing, bro?
I'm great, man. I'm just feeling alive. I'm getting into power walks.
Love it.
Let me tell you
Talk
about a
about
little
this.
power walk. I walk for an hour every day. It's insane. I'm actually kind of getting bored of it, but about like
Bored of walking?
Yeah. 20 minutes into the walk, though, I'm like on patrol mode. You have to get past the first initial part. But once you get past, like let's say 20 minutes in, I'm in patrol mode. Like, this is my neighborhood. I'm walking around the streets.
Patrol mode. So good. I love it. Hey, keep it up then.
Right
Let's
now.
let's talk about this movie, Twister, the OG, not the new one, folks. The original, 1996. Tell me about this thing.
Well, Twister is a riveting documentary about the world's worst divorce proceedings, in which a man named Bill simply tries to get his ex-wife to sign some paperwork, but is repeatedly thwarted by the weather. Helen Hunt plays Jo, a woman so obsessed with tornadoes that she apparently cannot conduct any legal business without first driving directly toward a Category F5 storm. While Bill Paxton plays Bill, a man who made the catastrophic life decision of bringing his new, very normal girlfriend along for what he promised would be a quick trip. The real villain of the film is a slimy corporate stormchaser who has the audacity to paint his trucks black. Along the way, the gang dodges flying cows, a fully airborne house, and an entire drive-in movie theater's worth of debris, all in the noble pursuit of throwing a metal barrel full of ping pong balls into a tornado. It all culminates in our heroes strapping themselves to a pipe in the ground while an F5 tornado passes directly over them, which somehow doesn't eviscerate them. And there you have it.
Very nice. Summed up. A large barrel of ping pong balls. Very nice touch. Dude, we talked about this before, but this is 1996 when they used to have, I think it was 2001 after 9/11 when all the cars got turned black and white and gray. But
Yeah, the colors.
black,
Color scheme.
yeah, the colors in this, yeah, it's crazy because she has the yellow truck, he has a red truck and everything else, like tan van. And then it's just like the black entourage of these trucks that are the bad guys.
Mm.
That would just be like the good guys nowadays.
It's like, it's an entourage. It's kind of a funny entourage too, because the first guy, he has a black Suburban, and then the rest of them are black Dodge Caravans. I'm like,
Caravans, dude.
Caravans are underappreciated vehicle, my friend. Fluffy had an
no beef.
80s Caravan. It was very powerful.
Sick. Yeah, we had the vans with the TVs in them and stuff, taking on like long trips with like the little windows. They had like the what are those called? Like not like the blinds. Well, they were blinds. You actually had a blinds that come down. And then, like the fabric to go over top of that in this van. It was kind of sick. Not gonna lie. First time watching this movie for me. This was one of those that we running from Blockbuster. You know, you talk about Friday night. Get yourself some Pizza Hut out. After that, stop by Blockbuster, grab a flick. I was probably, I guess, 9 years old when this came out. So I recall this is like super entertaining, and I love this movie. But I was also scared shitless of tornadoes for like the rest of my life after watching this.
I think that's a legitimate fear, dude, because it's actually...
There's like no tornadoes around where we live.
How?
There's actually one in my neighborhood in 2019, but anyway.
I actually saw this in the theater when it came out.
Yeah, nice.
If you can believe it, this right now is the second time I've ever seen this movie. But the first time was...
Really?
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy. That's a lot.
I've only watched it once somehow. I don't know how, but I saw it in the theater when it first came out. What's curious looking back, there wasn't any like specific reason why I would want to see this. Does that make sense? Like, it's a movie about tornadoes. Like, that doesn't really like appeal to me at all. But what I'm saying, it's like in the 90s, they would market these movies on TVs, on the ads and everything. Everyone would just go see the latest blockbuster movie in lieu of doing nothing. Yeah. Your options are very limited.
They didn't have cell phones.
You didn't have cell phones, but you also, you didn't have streaming services. You didn't have this or that. You didn't have, even video games and everything. They're not connected to the internet. You can only play Mario Brothers X amount of times before you kind of get it, Yeah. You would just kind of go to see the movies. It was an event on the weekends. And every once in a while, you just get blessed with this random good movie like this.
And
Summer
blockbusters, dude. 90s. They were good.
I'll give you like another example though that I thought of off the top of my head. Like I saw The Perfect Storm in the movie theater. Enjoyed it. But why did I want to see that though? I don't know. Like if Twister came out today, would I really go to see it in the theater, or would I just kind of pass and wait for
Probably
it
not.
on streaming? You know what I mean?
Probably not.
Or something. It hit some kind of different vibe in the 90s where you just go to the theater with your friends on a Saturday night. Oh, what's playing?
Yeah.
How about that Twister movie? That's the latest big movie, right?
It was a whole production. Yeah, it was something to do.
Yeah.
Good point. Literally me character in this movie. Who do you got?
I don't know. I guess I'm Dusty.
I was waiting for that.
Dusty.
Driving the barn burner.
Dusty, played by Philip Seymour Hoffman. It feels like he doesn't belong in this movie. Do you get that vibe at all?
Yes, I agree with that 100%.
It's like he's in a different movie and he's out of place in this. And you're like, what is this dude's deal?
Yeah.
It seems his tone and everything seems totally off and different than what's going on in this movie.
He's mailing it in.
I wouldn't say he did it. He did a good job and everything, and he's just like this wacky character. I'm like, he's in some kind of other 90s movie, not this action movie. He's in some kind of alternative rock movie.
Fair enough. I mean, I got to go with Bill. All right. I mean, there's not too many characters in this movie that are, notable. A lot of bit roles actually in this movie. But I feel like, he's this dude who's trying to walk away from everything, and he's so invested, he gets sucked right back in. No pun intended. This is literally me when I get invested in something, bro. I just like go all in and can't stop until it's been conquered. This is my life. I am Bill.
You're succeeding. We're going to get into I have a lot of questions about Bill.
Yeah, we'll talk about Bill. So let's get some of these fun facts here. With a very loud, bass-heavy surrounded channel, this film was notorious for destroying surround speakers in movie theaters nationwide. It's kind of funny because I was watching this go around, and there's a scene where they're in the truck and Bill's messing with the CB radio, and the bass just like drops. And I actually maybe 4 or 5 times rewound it. I'm like, what is that? It's just like, boom. Like, why is that so loud?
Have you been in the theater when
Yes, I have.
The speakers were just blowing your ears out. Has that ever happened to you before?
Yeah.
Do you recall what movie it was?
God, dude, I don't even know. Couldn't recall, but I know the feeling.
Like
Can't tell the movie.
I remember that happened to me in the late 90s when the Star Wars remastered editions came out in the theater, like 97. And
just blow these kids' eardrums out.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, dude, like it destroyed my ear. And then after that, it's never been the same experience. I've never had that happen before, like since that happened with Star Wars. I was like, whoa. I was like, was that just some kind of thing where they just decided out of the fucking blue to blow my ears out, you know?
No, there was lawsuits, so they had to peel it back a little bit.
But,
a recording of a camel's moan was slowed down and used as the sound of the tornado. Kind of weird, but I thought that was worth noting. Filming in Oklahoma was briefly delayed due to the bombing of the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building in Oklahoma City, April 19, 1995. Many of the crew members went to the site and helped with recovery efforts. Now, what's this Oklahoma City bombing all about, my friend?
What's it about? It's about the story they want to give you is that Timothy McVeigh was pissed off about Waco and Ruby Ridge and all that, and he decided to...
Why was he pissed off about Waco and Ruby Ridge?
Because the government went and killed these people, seemingly.
Why would they do such a thing?
I don't know. They're being a bunch of silly goose and just went and killed some people when they could have just arrested them in the town or whatever instead. So anyway, it pissed off Timothy McVeigh, and he went and made a bomb out of... I just could put it on a watch list. He made a fertilizer bomb in a Ryder rental truck and just parked it outside the building and blew it up, supposedly. Now, whether that actually happened, folks, I just don't know. So, how old were you in 95?
It's like 8.
Yeah.
7 years old. Yeah, I remember the pictures and some video footage, but I'm like, yeah, what's this all about? What's this guy all about? What's his major malfunction? This guy, you know?
There was like a right-wing terrorist movement in the in the United States in the 90s, supposedly. You kind of just forgot about it after 9/11, but
literally forgot about a lot of stuff. Anyhow, the explosion of the oil tanker was originally mistimed and was not caught on film. DuBont, whoever that is, decided not to tell the studio immediately, and the stunt was reset and filmed again, costing a rumored $500,000. Now, my friend, you can't put a price on it. This stuff, you got to do it again.
That's wild.
The explosion of the tanker, isn't it? Because you think about how much $500,000 was in '96.
Yeah.
Consider that money.
Dude, why? Yeah, but and also think about the fact that if it was done today, it would have just been with CGI graphics or whatever.
Literally, yeah.
And
there's some CGI in this movie, but
oh yeah. But like that whole thing would have been way less expensive. Like $500,000 sounds like they got like a legitimate truck and just blew it up again. We need another truck. I'm not going to say it because I'm going to get, again, put on a watch list. We need another truck bomb.
I love that this guy was so dedicated. Like, I've seen these kind of guys on set. Our buddy Ryan's the same way. He's like, nah, dude, gotta blow it up. It's gotta be all, we won't tell the studio. Like, we can't do the movie unless we blow this thing back up. Like, naturally. It has to be done. The movie can't be made. It's like, there was this guy who was that dedicated. Gotta do it again. It's like, how did they not catch this on film? It's like, rolling. It's like they didn't take the lens off. Idiots.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, mistimed. That's wild. Yeah. So it blew up either before or like after it was supposed to. Now imagine they're supposed to drive into it. They drive through it, and then like a minute later, the thing blows up.
Yeah.
Like, was that supposed
I guess
to blow
that's
up?
What it really would have been.
Yeah.
Literally. So let's get into some of these Kino scenes. There's a lot to go over here. I've talked about this before with a bunch of these 90s movies, bro. This opening title screen reveal, it's just 90s. It's everything about the 90s. You have these block letters spelling out Twister, and they get caught in a tornado. I'm just watching this thinking, 90s Kino overload. Unbelievable.
Okay, do you remember where the last time we talked about this?
I believe it was the movie with, was it Point Break?
No, but close. It was Speed. Now,
Yes.
that's interesting to me because I had this deja vu moment when I saw the title, the twister, the letters and everything, as you say, came on screen. And I was like, wait a second. This looks so familiar. I go immediately. It cuts.
It's the same animator.
Do you know who it cuts to? It cuts to Lance Harbor's dad in Varsity Blues. I'm sorry. Varsity Blues, the actor that plays Lance Harbor's dad. And I'm like, wait, he was in Speed. And then I'm like, wait a second, is this done by the same guy? So I look it up and it's the same director from Speed. Jean de Bont is his name.
There you go. That's LeBon. Okay.
Jan de Bont. I don't know how to say that. But I was like, oh shit, dude, they're doing like the same exact formula as Speed. And there's a bunch of the same actors too. I'm like, wait a second. This guy found success with Speed. And he was just like, hey,
if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
If it's not broke, don't fix it. Let's just do it with tornadoes. And it was another mega hit.
Yeah. Dude, simple formula in the 90s. Just follow it. Don't deviate from it. So you have this opening scene. I've always kind of wondered this. I'm assuming that he's trying to protect his family. You have this like shelter thing that's going on. And why is the dad trying to hold the door shut? It's like this crickety old door. Just huddle up in the corner. And I don't know, because the tornado comes over it and it doesn't suck them out. I don't know the physics of that, but I'm just like, bro, you're going to get sucked out.
Especially if
Reed's very weird
on the door and everything. And yeah, I mean, I don't know the physics of all this stuff. I guess he gets...
A lot of physics questions in this movie.
He gets launched down to the cellar. You think...
Yeah, but they're perfectly fine. And they're like 10 feet away.
Yeah, what is the deal with this cellar door, though? Like, why is it so rickety if you know that you're going to have a tornado that can blow the door off easily?
And it seems like these tornadoes come every 5 minutes in Oklahoma, seemingly. So, yeah, it's like, all right, you might want to invest in a little bit better door, bro. But this is the scene that kind of terrified me of tornadoes as a kid. I'm like, watching this guy get sucked out. I'm like, holy shit, dude. Like, new fear unlocked. I got to watch out for tornadoes.
You got traumatized.
Do we have tornadoes around here? Oh, traumatized, 100%.
Well, you should be, honestly, because if you think about it, this is actually a legitimate thing that could happen.
Yeah.
Like in Orland, Pennsylvania, my hometown, a tornado came and destroyed a building, like a giant church.
Yeah.
It's possible, dude.
Yeah, I told you there was one in my neighborhood a couple years ago before we moved in here. And like, yeah, it wasn't huge, but it like ripped off someone's side, like chimney or whatever, which is kind of wild. But so then we get introduced to this crew of rascals that chase tornadoes. And yeah, like you mentioned earlier, no better than one of the goats, Philip Seymour Hoffman, who plays Dusty.
Mm-hmm.
He's driving this minibus called the Barn Burner that I reference. This is just an incredible character reveal. And I'm like, he gets like enough screen time. And I can't remember, I watched like a bunch of documentaries on him, but like you said, dude, it kind of feels out of place, this character. But again, he's part of this, ragtag group of tornado chasers. But it feels like they try to get him on screen as much as possible. I don't know. Where was he at in his career at this point? 96.
I don't know. I mean, he's a goat actor now, but back then, I don't know if he was really as well known, right?
Yeah.
Tell me if this tracks with you. It feels like his character, Dusty, is in a Cameron Crowe movie. And he found this Cameron Crowe actor somewhat has transferred over to this action movie.
Dude, so he didn't really do too much before this. Boogie Nights the year after this. Then he started, the year after that, Big Lebowski. So this was his first, I guess, Hard 8, but not a big role. Yeah, man. So he did a lot of theater, but yeah, this I don't know. It's just like a weird thing. He feels like an out of place character in this movie. I guess that's what I was getting at. But yeah, so Philip Seymour Hoffman, folks, Mount Rushmore. Think of.
I mean, when you see this kind of ragtag group roll up, I'm looking at it from a 2026 lens just thinking to myself, do these people actually get paid anything? Right? They're
the Stormchasers?
yeah, are they interns or whatever at whatever her lab is or whatever?
Where's their funding coming from? Do they have corporate sponsorships?
It seems like they don't. They just had like their own pickup trucks. And
Love of the game. Love of the game. For the love of the game.
I'm like, in the 90s, you could just have this weird, vague job and still buy a house.
Yeah.
It's like afford a family and everything.
Full-time Stormchaser that gets paid like Snickers and $20 a week.
Yeah, and you're still just, you got 3 kids in college.
It's so true, though. Helen Hunt, for me, in this movie, absolutely kills it. But I have to ask the age-old question. Is she hot?
Yeah, she is. I'm going to take a stand on this one. Because obviously she's not like a 10 or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But I looked it up. Bill Paxton is 40. He was 40 when this was being filmed.
Whoa. For real?
Yeah. 41 when it came out.
I guess.
Okay. What I'm getting at here, folks, is that I am 42 right now, and I need to find my Joe. I need to find a woman that is really into weird, crazy, death-defying stuff. I don't know, like robbing banks or something.
West.
You know what I mean?
Move out west.
Do I have to move out west? Oh, dude. I got to get a motorcycle.
Going out west, Mom. I'm doing it. I'm taking my bike out west. I'm going out west.
I'm going out west,
One
Mom.
One thing I have to applaud in this movie, seriously though, is I give a ton of credit to the casting because the chemistry between Helen Hunt and Bill Paxton is actually god tier. It's like they both crush it and they truly make you feel like this jaded couple that they are. Like he's all pissed, he wants to move on, and she's being a smartass the whole movie. It comes off as like super genuine, always making like smartass comments and faces and shit. So I have to ask you, this ever happen to you? Where you had an ex and one of you tries to move on? Doesn't work?
No.
I was waiting for that.
I mean, not really. Like, usually people just find me so reprehensible on a long enough timeline that, they don't have a problem moving on. And I don't give them the satisfaction of showing my own feelings. So.
Press F. Worth mentioning, though, the truck that Joe's driving is this Jeep J10 Honcho truck. What'd you think of this thing?
It's so incredible, dude. I mean, it's kind of just alarming to watch this movie and just seeing all the awesome trucks in it. I mean, I could spend a whole episode discussing the trucks.
Standard Dodge Ram. Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
But let's ask this question. Let me just cut through me going on a rant for an hour. Did car companies just collectively decide to make every vehicle look like absolute shit at some point?
Yes.
What year was it? Was it 2010?
That's actually kind of accurate because I had an 09 Honda Civic.
Mm-hmm.
And no, I didn't have an 09 Civic. I had an 01, I think. What year was that? Maybe it was an 09. It was an 09. But yeah, right about that time, I would say. Mid 2000s, late 2000s, 100%. Now they look like boxes.
Everything looks, I don't even know how I would describe it, just uninspired now.
That's a good way to put it. I like that.
I like your truck. You have a 2021 Silverado.
Yeah.
Murdered out.
Yeah, it's nice. I like the grill on the front's cool. But my wife has one of those new Lexus GXs.
Yeah.
And it looks like a box. But she loves it. Yeah.
But it's something about, it's not just like a box. Like, for instance, like in this movie, you got all the square bodies. Like, that Suburban that the bad guys are driving is low-key one of my favorite vehicles. Like,
yeah,
my buddy's, his girlfriend's dad has a GMC Suburban from the mid-90s. And every time I go over there, I'm like, dude, can I just tell you? I love your Suburban.
Can I have your Suburban, bro?
Can you just give me your
sell
Suburban?
That? You looking to sell that thing anytime soon? Because I got a buyer. So, speaking of the bad guy, I just love seeing Saul Chad in movies. This is the actor Cary Elwes. Like, this guy he'll pop up randomly in movies, and he always gets a pretty good role. And for the record, I don't know if you know this, but he's another gamer. I had to look this up. He's exactly like a Michael Madsen or an Eric Roberts. The guy does movies. I think I saw he had like 141 acting credits to his name.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this gives me the opportunity, which I've probably brought up 3 episodes, just to give you an Eric Roberts update. The guy is currently sitting at 919 acting credits to his name. Upcoming on IMDb, 88 upcoming films that are either pre-production, in filming, or post-production. He's 70 years old. Talk to me about that.
I mean, that's insane.
It's so crazy, dude.
Both of these guys have been in the game for quite some time, though. You think about it. What's his name? Early in the 80s. He was in the 80s. What was that movie? Princess Bride?
Princess Bride, yep.
Like, that was a long ass time ago. And honestly, this guy is one of those guys that doesn't really age either.
Yeah, 100%.
So he can just keep going.
He looks like he's 40 years old. He's probably 70.
He's a perpetual 40-year-old guy.
Fucking vampire, dude. But yeah, just always got to give an Eric Roberts shout out. This guy, he'll just show up on set for a day and record. He's just going for the Guinness Book of World Records for most movies titles, and he's going to never be touched. Hall of Famer. Anywho, so this guy, I don't know if you caught this guy. He's the adversary group, Patrick Fischler. He's kind of the weird looking dude, black hair. I don't know if you noticed him, tiny guy. He's the guy in the game LA Noire. Are you familiar with LA Noire, the video game?
Absolutely. Incredible game.
Yeah, great game. I think I've talked to you about this before. But he's one of the bad guys in this game. And every time I see him just do these bit roles on TV or in movies or whatever, I'm like, oh shit, there's the bad guy from LA Noire. Because even though LA Noire is a 2014 game or so.
Yeah.
The graphics were good enough that he looks like graphic in real life. He looks like, because they made him look so good in the game. I saw him in real life. I'm like, oh shit, it's dude from LA Noire. Did you ever have that with any other person? Like maybe Trevor from Grand Theft Auto. He's in. Well, he's
the king of it.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, this guy is in a bunch of shit. And every time I see him, I'm like, oh, there's that guy.
Well, he's in a bunch of shit, and it's always like these random roles that are not that big. And like, oh, there he is again, and everything. But it's arguably his video game role. You have that.
It's better.
Case. Yeah. He's a bigger video game character now. So people who know him from the video game, they don't even, that's where he's from, right?
Dude, I would take a video game role any day of the week.
Oh, especially like a really good role. You can, like the guy that played Solid Snake is basically like he's an actor, but now he's just known as Solid Snake.
Yeah. He doesn't need to be anything else. He's so locked into that character. He's typecasted.
That guy that you speak of, Patrick Fischler. So he's the third guy I noticed that is also in the movie Speed. Him, Alan Ruck.
He is in Speed, dude. That's great.
And the Richard Lineback, the guy that is in Varsity Blues as well, but he's the dad that gets launched into the...
Yeah.
But all 3 of these guys are all these kind of random character actors that were also in Speed. Now, like, this guy really did just follow a formula.
That's it, dude. That's the way to do it.
So, they're off. They're right. They're going after a tornado. Dusty fires up the music, and the camera cuts to on top of the barn burner, looking at the convoy in front of it, going over a hill, high speed. And it's just an incredible visual, an incredible shot. And they don't really do this anywhere else in the movie, but it's just this one where they're going over a hill. And I was like, they're going high speed. The clouds are all dark. They're driving into the dark clouds and everything. And it's very ominous. And it's like, you really put you in the action and the feeling of chasing down a tornado. Great cinematography in this one spot.
Yes. Completely agree. There are a couple, and we'll get to it later on as they come, but there's a couple really cool scenes in this movie. There is a nod to the cinematography for sure. But they're chasing this first tornado, and I'm immediately thinking to myself, how sick would it be to do this, bro? Like, have you seen these YouTubers that do this?
I meant to look it up and I never got around to it, but you're telling me there's a YouTube channel. Yeah, there's a YouTube channel. See, this is why it's like different now. I'm thinking earlier, how much are these guys getting paid? Right? And
There's no ad revenue.
Yeah, it might be nothing, but if you're on YouTube and you're live streaming it, you could be getting paid a crap load of money because it's so insane, right? Like the footage of it.
So
it's the same reason though.
This is your opportunity.
Yeah, I got nothing going on in my life, but like, I don't know, where is tornado country? I might have to go to a different state though.
Oklahoma.
Do I gotta go to Oklahoma?
That's it. That's it.
They make it into such an interesting thing in this movie, but how much you want to bet that it's a lot of sitting around for 10 hours and then like 30 minutes of driving somewhere and you might get a tornado. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you get a ton more clicks and views because it's kind of high energy and it's pretty wild.
Yeah, that's it. That's the affirmation of life, my friend. That's why we idolize the bank robbers. They're evil, right? But they're affirming life. They're actually living. When you're in this game, you're putting your life on the line here, bud. Ultimate rush, ultimate high. It transcends doing something for money. I'm mentioning money and everything, but they're not really in it for the money. They're in it for the love of the game. They're transcending the prison planet system.
Simple as. But we were talking physics earlier, and it's like they're under this rickety old bridge.
Yeah.
And the truck just gets sucked right up and thrown away. They're just holding on. Like at the end of the movie, they have a strap at least. They're just holding on with their arms. How's the physics working again here? Because I'm dumb and I don't know how it works because this doesn't seem like it would work.
There's a lot of things that I just don't understand in this movie. And this goes up to the line where I'm like, I'm ready to not accept this as reality, but it's a low category tornado, I guess. And, I guess it can.
It's high enough to pick up a truck.
Right. And you would think that if it could pick up a truck, it could sweep these guys away from just holding on to these pieces of wood or whatever, right? I like that they're in that ditch and he sees the bridge coming and he's just like, I got to just drive into it.
Yeah, dude.
Just straight just drives into it.
Yeah. So they're chasing this next NATO, and it's a nice touch with the writing here. And this is a very 90s thing. I don't know if I'm sure you will, but it's like a super tense scene. They're all freaking out or whatever, and they see a cow fly by. And Melissa says, I'll have to call you back. We have cows.
Yeah.
And it's just this little typical 90s thing that they do where it's like breaks the tension. And it's kind of goofy, but also kind of works. Your thoughts? You see this in a lot of 90s movies.
I mean, if you don't remember when this movie came out that much, I guess.
Yeah.
I distinctly remember.
Fun for the whole family.
This little 4-second cow scene here was like the whole marketing push on all the ads.
Was it?
Yeah. This cow flying by, it became like a cultural phenomenon where people were into Twister and cows flying by. Like, oh yeah, this is the movie with the cow flying by. It was like totally mixed in with the whole marketing. It's like 2 seconds in the movie.
Did not know that. So then this is, for me, I just want to throw a side note in here because the crew rolls up and they're all listening to music or whatever. They're always like last to the party. They're never active throughout the entire movie. It's always just Joe and Bill. But they roll up listening to Long Way Down by the Goo Goo Dolls. Brother, are you aware that Goo Goo Dolls was my actual shit? This was my first tape from my dad's Columbia House subscription.
Wow. I mean, that's a throwback right there. Holy smokes.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if we ever discussed the Goo Goo Dolls, but I'm a big fan. I can tell you that I'm a big Long Way Down fan. I distinctly remember that it was in this movie. It's weird that I remember this stuff, but also, yeah, like Goo Goo Dolls is just going viral right now with a new meme where people are talking about, like, Dad, what was it like in the 90s? And it's some like celebrity just posting pictures of, and that's to the Goo Goo Dolls song.
I've seen this. Yeah, it's big right now. But this was like my first tape, and I still play this song in the car with my daughter. It's like I have like probably 50 to 100 regular songs that are my most played, and that's one of them. 100%. She gets into it.
I love it. I
love me some Goo Goo Dolls. But they're referencing this F5 tornado next, and they're at, I guess, Meg's house or
Mhm.
whatever. They're eating, and they're going from joking and whatever. It's like F5, and they all get super quiet and morbid. It's like, no one's seen an F5. Well, one of us. And it cuts over to Joe, and she's getting ready. I'm like, it's just super goofy. I don't know. It just stood out to me. What the hell is going on here? No one's ever seen an F5.
I mean, it's a little over the top the way they respond like this. Anyone ever see an F5? And the one guy's like, the finger of God.
The finger of God.
There's a certain appeal, though, to storms where everything gets dark and you feel the power, and something could actually happen. Something could happen.
Could be happening.
There could be an actual happening here, bud.
This food, though, bro. Did you take note of this? This is like God tier to me. Steak, eggs, and mashed potatoes with gravy.
Yeah, I wish I was eating
that's all
this
I could
every
eat that every day of my life. Just looks so banging.
What stood out to me
on YouTube?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I mean, what stood out to me was like these people. How many roll up? At least 10.
Yeah.
And she just has all these steaks ready to go.
Yeah, bro. What did you hear the line that she says?
No.
Did you see all my calves out front or all my cows? And they're like, no. And she has a smile on her face because she like cut them all up, put them in a freezer.
Damn, dude.
That's why.
That's what we got to do.
Yeah,
Start
bro.
getting the cows. We got to become ranchers.
That's simple as. So they're rocking these DOS 90s computers in the van. Did you catch on to this? When they're going through all the feed or whatever, they're tracking these.
Yeah.
How did they have internet in these vans? Because I'm very curious about this. Was there wireless in 96?
It's a great question. I'm not 100% sure. I do remember at the beginning of the movie, she's dicking around with a satellite dish on the top of the van. So maybe it's something to do with satellite internet at some point, some primitive satellite internet that existed in the 90s, and they could just get weather reports via these satellites. That would be my guess.
Maybe.
But also, it's like the world's first laptop.
Right? Literally. Yeah.
They had this giant laptop. It's a brick. I think it's a Gateway.
I was just going to say, bro, is that a Gateway?
Remember Gateways?
Just playing with the whole cow thing. Oh, bro, it was our first computer. So, again, we can't go a week without talking practical effects versus CGI, but they drive through this hailstorm, and it looks, on camera, really good. So apparently they bought like truckloads of ice and brought it in here. But with the wind, the little pieces of hail, it just looks so legit. I just absolutely love it.
Well, I mean, like
that right there is cinema. One of the
critiques, I guess, is that the CGI isn't as good in this movie, and you're, looking at it with nostalgia glasses on. But honestly, that's only in little tiny parts where they show an actual tornado. But everything else is legit, like really good. So I don't think that's really a good critique of the movie. I think the CGI is they did with the best they could with what they had when they had to. But everything else was like legit effects. Stunning.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. It just comes off so good. It has a genuine feel to it. You know what I mean? Because they're actually in a hailstorm because they're raining down little ice beads on them the entire time with these giant wind fans, I would imagine. But anyway, you mentioned it earlier. I just keep getting hit with these sayings that these dudes, it's just random Stormchaser jargon. It's like, the cone of silence, the finger of God. It's like they had to squeeze that in the movie to add authority to the fact that, oh yeah, these guys are Stormchasers.
Right. You don't know. Like, I'm watching this. Part of me is like, hey, they could be completely making this shit up for the movie. I have no idea, dude.
It's maybe. The
cone of silence. Like, what is any of this? Is this real? But you have to buy in at some point.
You're the viewer, and you're watching it in 96. You're like, oh, is that what it's called? Wow, that's cool.
Oh, damn, dude, like that's the cone of silence.
National Geographic touch to it. Yeah.
You're watching an actual tornado about to just come up to your house. Like, oh, dude, I think I'm in the cone of silence right before your whole house gets blown up.
The finger of God. So Bill finally professes to Joe that he loves her, right? And they hear it on the intercom, so the rest of the crew's listening in. So Michelle hears it, and bro, it's like she's holding back tears in the rain with the wind like flying through. And he just got goofy ass Dusty standing next to her. And it's just such a weird thing. I don't know why I think that's funny, but it's like all serious and he's just standing like goofy as shit next to her.
There's like a strange vibe that he has where he's trying to like hit on her almost. But like
earlier in the movie.
Neither of them know that anything's going to actually become of this, but he just does it anyway in a weird way. Like, what the fuck's going on here?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, dude.
Can you explain to me why Joe broke up with Bill? Explain that to me.
Man, I mean, I guess that I don't know the answer to that because I was actually thinking about that watching this and I'm like, okay, because he's the one that says, look what's right in front of you. And she's running away. She's scared of commitment because her dad died. I don't know. Kind of weird.
I got the impression Bill was the one that broke up with her.
Perhaps because he's the one that got a relationship.
And
but he says, he's like, look what's right in front of you, me.
Right. But he's doing that after they kind of vibed for a whole movie.
Mm.
And I'm like, dude, why did this breakup happen? Obviously, there's a chemistry there. Obviously, he vibes with her and all this tornado chase and shit. And it's like, Bud, what would you say you're doing here?
Well, you know, the real crime in this movie is this chick, Melissa, right? So she's like twirling her engagement ring back in the hotel bed. And I'm thinking to myself, at what point is this chick like, yo, idiot, can you get this chick to sign these documents so we can get the fuck out of here? Because you think about it, like you mentioned earlier, they're there. It's a short trip. Just need her to sign these documents and then we can be on our way. But hey, the tornado comes. We got to run. We got to run. There's like 7 different opportunities since then that they're staying over at hotels. Why doesn't this chick just stand up and be like, I'm leaving. Are you coming with me? Because she's just watching her dude get taken away by his ex in real time. Pretty depressing. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, let me tell you why.
Also, almost dying in the process.
Multiple times.
Multiple times.
Well, what's
good?
Let me tell you why. Because this, I believe in my heart watching this, that this whole plot about them, this love triangle, and Joe and Bill getting back together, I believe we wouldn't even be able to see this in a movie today. And what I mean by that is you just had these 2 women fighting over the heart of this Chad.
Yeah. Yes. Definitely not in 2026.
And it's just like Melissa just gets screwed over because she's just in love with this dude, I guess. But doesn't realize that he's not into like whatever she's into. He's into this death-defying shit. It's like, sorry, babe. Like, you don't realize that like this guy's true love is chasing tornadoes and this ex with a death wish. It's
very true. And the breakup scene is kind of iconic because he's like, man, he just called me at a bad time. Yeah, I'm going back. It's like super awkward. He's like, how you get home? She's like, I'll be fine. That's the end of it, dude. She's walking away.
She's just like, hey, dude, like, I'm not even mad. It's just like, I'm not into this almost getting killed thing every 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, casting, on that, I would say normally doesn't work, but I think they were trying to go with such a variant of him that I guess it kind of works. I don't know.
The opposite of Joe. Someone who is very clearly the direct opposite of what Joe is visually and what they do for a living.
Yeah. So this is something we talked about earlier, but it's assumed that this is in Oklahoma, obviously, because Dusty's hat. So I had to look this up, and Oklahoma averages 50 tornadoes a year, right? You get this feeling throughout the movie. It's in screen time, there's probably a couple days that passed, right? Does it not feel that I mean, what? You have 6 tornadoes on screen in a matter of a couple days. There's 50 a year. How's that work?
I get the impression
they're playing it off
like I don't know how exciting this job actually is. When I think about this kind of thing, I think about being a private detective, right? It seems very fun. Oh my God, I get to zip around in a car and take pictures of people, but you don't realize that you're just sitting in a car probably
a lot of downtime.
95, 97% of the time. I wonder if that's the same thing here. you're just standing around looking at weather reports your whole day, your whole life. And then there's like...
They cut that part out.
They cut... Yeah. It's a 3 hour... They cut the extra hour out and then just waiting around.
It's so true. But I will say, man, another nod that I give in this movie is the set designers, right?
Mm-hmm.
When they go to save Meg in her house, this debris that they have lying around, and there's like, you can see the second floor kind of hanging down, and there's TV that almost takes them out. It's kind of plugged in and just hanging by the cable wire.
Yeah.
And then it proceeds to the house, just like implodes. This is all real effects. So set design, tip of the cap. Like they made every post tornado set look pretty awesome.
Dude, you're so right. This set design is so phenomenal.
It's good.
It's like a tornado just destroyed this street, and they roll up and there's just people all over the place, destroyed houses. Yep. And this house that they go into, incredible, because they pull her out. They go back in, get the dog. They're walking away, and the house crumbles in on itself. And you can almost tell looking at it that it's like some guy designed this way. Like it doesn't. There's an element to the crumbling house that looks like.
Well, there's some engineering that has to be done. Yeah, there's some engineering that has to be done with that. You have to like figure out how to make that look legit.
But it's a giant house though. So like that's the impressive part of that is like it's a huge house.
Could be a
model. So it could be. It could. I'm gonna believe, folks.
Fair enough. So you get to this scene where Jonah and his boy are driving. I forget that guy's name, the actor that plays his like sidekick. You've seen him a million times before though. So they decide to just drive right into this F5. I'm watching this. I'm like, this is kind of horrible writing because it just like 1 second he's like, no, just keep driving. It's not going to turn. And then sure enough, a second later, he's like, ah, they just get sucked up by this tornado. And you have this Helen Hunt signature. We always talk about faces, but this Helen Hunt signature squint that she does with lifted eyebrows. She's almost looking at him like they're dead now. And she's just giving him this, like, it's just this look, but she does it in a ton of movies.
Okay. So yeah, this guy who's the driver is Zach Grenier, and he is the boss in Fight Club.
That's it. That's the guy.
That incredible actor.
He's in a bunch of other stuff though, but yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of like another guy, like a lot of these actors in this movie. They're these character actors.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I guess that you just watch these movies randomly. You're like, oh, there's that guy. Right. Mm-hmm. But like, you're like, but I respect that guy's game so much because of.
He's a grinder.
Yeah.
Like, he's a grinder. Yeah. Not everyone can be an A-lister, my friend.
That's true. That's a great point, dude. Not everyone can be Brad Pitt. Right. Yeah. But they still have just boatloads of talent. Yeah. So it's like this guy's fate, probably more. They have to make up for the fact that they're not like some like Giga Chad.
They're not getting a lot of FaceTime. Yeah, they're not getting enough FaceTime. So it's like I gotta shine when I get my opportunity.
And I just want to point out though, like you are so correct. Her facial expression is so funny when they get launched by the tornado, and I wasn't even, dude. I wasn't expecting this. It's exactly what it is. She goes like, it's like, we told these idiots. That's what her face means.
She's like disgusted by it almost.
Yeah, but except for the fact, like right after that though, she's like, they're all sad, and Bill Paxton's just like, fuck, and like hits the window and everything. And but her initial reaction was this kind of like, what a bunch of idiots.
Yeah. Well, another thing too is they have to, and this just doesn't add up, but and I don't want to sit here and just shit on this movie because I love this movie, but they decide they have to put these little wings on these balls for Dorothy. There's not enough time to make all. They don't have enough soda cans, right? Aluminum soda cans. But do these balls really need these wings? Because when you think about it, just open the lid and everything else gets sucked straight up.
Right.
Why would these need some kind of propeller to go upwards? They weigh nothing.
I don't know. Why did they add this into the movie? It's not that much more scenes. It's not that much more screen time. Why did they add that into the movie? Unless, hear me out here. It's to get the viewers asking, where did all these cans come from? And then you got to ask the obvious question is, are all these cans just sitting in the back of the barn burner because Dusty is just crushing Diet Pepsis and just launching them in the back? I feel like that's the real reason. That
I want to believe.
In there. Yeah. There's probably DVD extras where it's showing his giant pile of cans.
Mm-hmm. As I drink a Pepsi. But the last thing I'll say is they had this final F5 where they're strapped in. And I just think it's like a nice touch they have where they're sucked into the eye of it, which apparently is like super peaceful and quiet. And they just have this chorus playing, right? I'm thinking, this is very biblical. It's a nice touch. The two of them in the quiet eye of the tornado. I liked it.
I mean, it is kind of a nice touch because I don't know, whenever I see a storm rolling in, it does feel like the power of God. There's stuff going on that is bigger than you.
Yeah.
Right?
I just took it as that was her final moment of getting past her dad's death, right? She's always chasing after, like almost wanting to go in these tornadoes, and she finally is at peace. What do you think about that?
Yeah, totally. This is why she's in this position in life, is because of the thing that happened to her when she was a kid. She's scared of these tornadoes, but a little bit attracted to the tornado as well. She needs to know the experience of being inside a tornado. This is where I kind of just, I was like, all right, I think I'm tapping out on this movie at this late stage. They start running away on foot from the tornado. And I'm like, dude, you know how much debris is in there?
Oh, you're getting taken out. Yeah.
You're getting and they show the wood like going into the walls.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's so much tiny debris too, going extremely fast. They're getting eviscerated. They're getting shredded.
Shrapnel.
That would be so. And then it shows them holding on. They're strapped into this pipe. And they're just having all this stuff blow around them, and they get up, not a scratch on
walk
them.
Away.
They're like, "Are you all right? Are you all right? Okay, cool." Not a scratch on them. I'm walking around tonight on my mega walk, and even on my mega walk, I'm getting debris in my eyes. I'm thinking to myself, dude, how the hell did they survive this? I'm not sure.
Are you thinking about that on your walk?
I was thinking about that my whole walk, folks. What's your Kino rating, dude?
Yeah, I'll go first. This is a classic summer blockbuster for me. So much so that they remade it, folks. If you get a chance, watch the new one. It was okay. Definitely not as good as this. I'm going to go with an 8 here. I would say 8 is my baseline for if I think a movie is good, just so you know. Very rewatchable movie. It's one of those that you can just, sit down, turn the TV on. You can casually watch into the background. Good action summer blockbuster that I think still holds up. I know you're going to go lower, so go for it.
Why is this movie good? I think that to myself, I say it's just because of the writing. I come back to the writing. Now, I don't know if you know this. This movie was written by Michael Crichton. The screenplay of this movie was written by Michael Crichton. You know, the guy who wrote Jurassic Park, the book, and like a million other books that sold. Let's analyze this for just a second, if I could. Okay, we got a random premise here. Stormchasers mixed with a love story. Hollywood has to take a risk because they know they don't know if it's going to get over with the people, right?
Yeah.
Get good actors, good script. The rest doesn't matter as much. You could have a movie about a guy staring at a wall, and as long as there's a good script and a good actor, it doesn't matter what the premise is. Like, this is a goofy premise.
Yeah, fair enough.
So now they do the opposite because they know people will go to this superhero stuff. Now, I might just harp on this all the time. I do. What happened though? Did they just decide at one point to stop paying writers because writers were getting too powerful? Like, is that actually what happened to movies?
Yeah, it was there was multiple strikes, SAG strikes and the writer's strikes.
And they were just like, these people think that they're powerful and we'll show them. We can just make 100 superhero movies and hire some Tom, Dick, or Harry off the street for $20,000, and it'll get over because people just go to superhero. It's like,
Literally.
anyway, folks, I give this movie an 8.
Nice. Anywho, that's it, folks. If you haven't seen it, check out Twister, the 1996 edition, and check out the new one. The new one's okay. It's not great, but anyhow.
Next
If
week,
you enjoyed, give us a share, subscribe, like, all the things. So next week, what do we have, my friend? What
dude,
do we have next week?
The Lighthouse, which
Ooh,
is going to be good because
brother.
it's crazy. Yeah.
Lighthouse. I mean, this is Robert Pattinson and our Mount Rushmore guy, Willem Dafoe. We just did The Rover with Robert Pattinson. So we always seem to have these back-to-back weeks with people, and I just don't ever schedule it that way. So anyhow, until then, get you on the next one.
Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.